Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be teaching you guys how I make my Liberian meat pie. A lot of people have requested this video, so I have decided to make this video. I will try to keep it short and this video will be very informative, so I will be talking a lot, so just kind of listen and go with the flow. What I will need for this recipe will be 5 cups of flour, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 eggs, salt, nutmeg, that is over here, 1 cup oil, 1 1/4 cup of water. I will go ahead and get started. So what I'm gonna do right now, I will measure my flour. I usually just keep my flour in this container because it makes it easier for me. So now I will go ahead and add my baking powder. This is the baking powder that I'm using. You can use any brand, it does not matter, but this is what I'm using. This is 1. So you can see 2. And I have a 1/2 spoon over here that I'll be using. So what I do is for each cup of flour, I add 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. As you can see, I'm using 1 cup to measure my oil, but I'm not going to put the entire cup in. I'm just going to put half of that in because I could not find my 1/2 cup. So just 1/2 cup of oil, that's what I put into the flour. Once you add the oil to the flour, now you want to mix all of the ingredients together. This is it when it's all mixed. Well, Miss Dream just woke up, so she will be joining us. Mommy, do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi to YouTube? Okay. In a separate bowl, I added 1 egg, 1 cup, and 2/4 cup of water to mix to my ingredients. I'm also adding it a bit at a time. Once everything is mixed well, you will need to add your dough to a clean surface to knead it. You will also need to add maybe like a little bit of flour to the surface, but as you can see, I did not add any additional flour because my dough is a little dry because I did not add a lot of water, so that should be fine. Just gonna let it sit for maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour while I prepare the beef for the meat pie. So you just set this aside, cover it up, and we will be right back. So to get started, I'm gonna go ahead and fry my onions and garlic. I just have a little bit of oil in here that I'm gonna use to fry the onions and garlic. So this is 1 onion and I believe this is 2 garlic. Usually I will use a lot of garlic, but I don't have a lot, so I'm just going with what I have in my kitchen right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fry the onions and garlic. You do not want to overcook the onions, so I'm just going to fry it just a little bit. So this is the onions. As you can see, I did not overcook it. I just fry it a little bit. For the sake of this video, I will go ahead and measure the oil, but usually I just don't measure the oil, but I'm just gonna go and do it. So I'm gonna add 1/3 cup of oil, and that's what I will be frying the beef with. I have some beef in here. It's actually some leftover beef that I have, so it's not like a set amount of beef. So I'm gonna go ahead and fry my beef. So for seasoning, you can add whatever you have in your kitchen. I'm just gonna add what I have. I have some black pepper. I'm just adding everything that I have that I wanna add. Now, I cannot cook without using some rosemary, so I always cook rosemary. And I cook a lot because it's my cooking. That's what I love, so that's what I'm gonna cook. Now, I am not gonna tell you how much seasoning you need. Like, you can pour as much seasoning as you want. It's your food. Like, you are the one you're gonna eat it, so you are the one eating it, so just put just how much seasoning you want. I put everything in my food. And you know, Heather would say you cook too much seasoning, or like you cook too much chicken soup, whatever. I just put whatever I want to put in my food, just so that my food can taste delicious. Okay? Now when you are in your kitchen, you do what you want to do, but this is my kitchen, so I do what I want to do. So I'm gonna put everything that I want to put, and a little bit of everything bring out the taste. Well, I have to put the fan on because my baby is coughing like crazy over here. I will also be adding in 1 chicken soup. It's a little hard, so I'm mashing it before adding to the beef. Just made some pepper sauce. I'm gonna go and add some pepper sauce to this because I don't want to dirty my blender, because I just literally just washed my blender. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add some of the pepper sauce that I made to my beef. And I'm gonna add a lot of pepper sauce because I want my beef to be hot. You do not need to add pepper sauce to your beef. You can use jalapeno pepper, or you can choose not to add pepper. I'm just using the pepper sauce because that's what I have, and I just don't want to go through the struggle of blending pepper. So I'm gonna go and add the onions. Before adding the onions, I added a little bit of water, and I allowed the beef to cook a little bit more, because once I add the onions and the mixed vegetable, I don't want the beef to be on the stove any longer, because those vegetables will just cook too soft, and it also gonna cook in the oven. So I just usually just add the onions and mixed veggie towards the end of the beef cooking. Now that I'm done cooking the beef, I'm gonna go ahead to start with the next step. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and start rolling the dough and then adding the meat to the dough, and we will go from there. I forgot to mention that you will need a baking sheet. Now you have to grease the baking sheet because you will place the meat pie on it to bake. You will need a roller to roll your meat pie. You can get this from Walmart, or you can even get it from the Dollar Tree or Dollar Store. If you do not have a roller, you can also use a bottle. That's something to substitute. I have a lot of beef, so I will be adding a lot of beef into my meat pie. You don't need to add this much beef, but I'm just adding that much beef because I have a lot of beef. So I just want to make sure I use everything. Now you will need 1 additional egg to rub on the top of the meat pie. You will actually need a baking brush, but I don't have one. I don't know where I place my brush. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix the egg, and I will use my finger to rub the egg on top of the meat pie. I also have my oven on 350 to preheat. Once I'm done, I will go ahead and place the meat pie in the oven, and it should bake about it should probably take about 15 to 30 minutes or more depending on your oven, but I will actually bake this on 400 degrees. This is how the meat pie should look once it is done. I hope you enjoy watching this video, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. Until next time.